the universe.
It's so funny because when you messaged me and you asked, will you come? I was like, say what now? And I was like, okay, she may not know, but since we connected, I've been, watching what you're doing and all that. And so I'm like, little old me, like me. And then I look back and like, well, look at who she's had on. Okay, God, I'm just going to put myself in the position to receive. And when I told you, I don't think that day's going to work, and you're like, oh no, this day is happening. I was like, okay.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I love how we've had this whole backstory and whatever, and people are like, who is she? What did she do? Okay. I love for people to introduce themselves because I feel like I can read your bio, but it's like one thing. How would you introduce yourself?
How would I introduce myself?
What would you say if you're introducing yourself?
Oh, man. Are you sure you're ready for that? How I would introduce myself. Maria Michelle Lee, always living to be happy and inspire people and to encourage people and to tell them that the world is their oyster. I'm loud and I'm phenomenal, and I'm in this place where I'm unapologetically me. I don't apologize for myself anymore. I spent a lot of my life living in the people pleaser world, and I was literally, Sandra, I'd always say, oh, I'm sorry. If someone was too close to me, I would feel like I'm in their space, so let me move over. Oh, I'm sorry.
How did you so that's a space that I hear, oh my gosh, so many women. We're conditioned to be apologetic. How did you, realize that that's who you were? And then how do you take that step to move beyond that?
How did I realize that I was always people-pleasing, or how did I
that you're a people-pleaser? And how did you move from, what was it? What was the trigger that made you realize that this is not who I am?
Real talk? I got sick and tired of being sad. I'd share my language of the $1 million smile all the time, but there are many nights where I'd go home sad. There are many nights where I would literally ask God, it's okay if I don't wake up tomorrow. Because I was always trying to make room or have a space fighting to be myself. And so one day, not too long ago, a few years ago, I found myself coming from an appointment, and I found myself speeding, and I didn't realize I was speeding to get back home, literally speeding. And just this rage and anger welled up in me, and I called my husband and I said, whatever is going on with me, I can't do this anymore. And I let it all out, and he was even shocked. Where is this coming from? So I don't know if it was many years of trauma. I have no idea. But all I knew is I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, turning the smile on and off. And I got tired. It wasn't a thing. It just, my body became so tired that I'm like, clearly I can't be the only one that feels this way.
And so how then, because I know that's become part of your journey and your story and what you help others overcome. So how do you go from, I feel sick and tired, to you getting yourself out of being sick and tired?
Well, for me, the experience was I ended up having to go in a little bit deeper to break that mold. I don't believe that you can share something or help change somebody else's life if you have no experience. So the breaking point that happened for me is where I came from. So we just moved from Alberta to Ontario. So we were in Alberta, and if anybody knows what's going on over there, market-wise, it's a little bit difficult. And so all of these changes, wasn't getting ahead, doors were closing. I was home by myself one day, and I looked out to the big window, and there was a big light post. And I said, do I live today or do I die today? And so my husband, the line of work that he's in, he knows how to tie off ropes and all that stuff. So all the stuff that if I needed it, it would be in the garage. And this clear voice said to me, not today, Maria. You're not going to do it today. I have something greater for you. And for me, that was God speaking to me. I have something greater for you. And if you just listen to me, I truly do. I know that you will get to the other side. And so, hot tear cry moment. Had an amazing friend that was on the phone, and she didn't say anything. She just said, "What is it, babe?" And she stayed on the phone until that part of me passed. And that's when I knew, never, ever again. I'm going to live to be happy. In spite of what other people think, I'm going to tell people that they can be happy too. If you want to be the ice cream truck guy for the rest of your life, I'm going to figure out a way for you to be happy being the ice cream truck guy. Because the sadness that I felt, maybe you have felt it more than I have, or you haven't felt that way yet, but I'm going to make sure that you don't feel that way. And that's how I had to break down in order to break through to become unapologetically me.
And so what was it then that made you, was it that voice that made you realize that your calling was not just to save yourself, but now what has become your work to save others? And what was that process for you to be like, okay, I've saved myself. I'm in that process of saving myself. I need to take the next step. And how did you do that?
When you talk to people, people are so busy looking at their phones and their computers and, trying to go and catch that red bottom shoe life, that people are not talking to people anymore. And I have this sense of knowing when somebody's lonely. There's just a few things that they might say, like, I'm feeling a little melancholy today, or they're smiling, but they have a sad look in their eye. And that's the senses. How can I be of service to you today? What would you like for me to do for you, Sandra, today?
So how do you describe your work now? If you're telling people what it is you do, how do you describe your work?
Okay, well, I am an inspirational speaker, life motivator. I specialize in mirror work. So we get in front of the mirror. What do you see? Is it the truth or is it the lie? And let's break that lie. That's how I would describe my work. Let's break the lies that you've been telling yourself. Let's shake off the negativity that people have been, holding you to. It's not true. Let's break that through.
And why did you pick mirror work? Because I know there are many different forms of, that you could have taken. Why mirror work? What was it about it that spoke to you?
Again, it's the experience. When you go and you look in the mirror to brush your teeth, you're only focused on brushing your teeth, right? But do you ever look in the mirror and look in your eyes? What is it that you're seeing? What is it that you're scared to see? Back in the day, in my fitness days, I used to help athletes prepare for fitness competitions. And in there, they're going through all these transitions, the dieting, picking out their suit and what their hair is going to look like and all of that stuff. And then I would tell them, come, bring your suit. And you'd get them to put on the suit. Now, they've put it on for themselves, but they haven't put it on for somebody else. And we'd be in front of this big mirror, and I had this one client, she was just shaking, knees shaking, and looking like she was about to cry. And I said, come here, stand in front of the mirror. What is it that you're not saying? You're okay putting X amount of dollars down to train and get ready for this big day. You don't have time to be small on this stage. And from there, that's how I started developing it with my clients. It started in the fitness industry. And how much, this fitness industry makes so much money, but you're happy somewhat with the outside, but you're not happy with the inside. That's what people don't seem to understand. It doesn't matter if you have red bottom shoes and fancy cars and you look good on the outside. If you don't feel good on the inside, a lot of people feel that it's a look good, feel good. It's not. The order is feel good, look good. You have to love yourself. And to think you have this beautiful person with a great physique and she's crying in a bikini that's the size of your ear, mind you, but she's crying.
How did you go from fitness? So tell me about what you were doing in fitness. Tell me that side of your story, the fitness world.
The fitness world, okay. It was a thing. I had a goal. I wanted to compete in a fitness competition.
Why?
Why?
What was it that drew you? Because it's not easy. Competing is not an easy thing.
You're right.
On many levels.
On many levels.
Many levels.
I was teaching fitness. My husband and I taught fitness for many years. My husband still teaches to this day. And for me, it was just a goal for me to lose the baby weight. And then I became attracted to the whole fitness thing. Like it was a thing for me. So then I'm a big goal setter. I'm like, let me set a goal. Okay, so let me get healthy before I have a baby, and let me see how fast I can, transform my body. So that was a goal. And I competed. My brother-in-law trained me. He is a pro bodybuilder, and so he trained me. Dwayne and I, my husband, we were running a fitness business anyway, so I was already in the world. So I'm like, why not do it? And that's how that came to be. But it wasn't until I competed for every child I had, I did a competition right after.
So after every child you went?
After everyone.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I did 3, and then I did one more for my 40th birthday, and then I was done. I was good. I was like, give me some real food now. Do
you ever see yourself? Are you ever tempted to go back? And
tempted to train as if I was going to compete, but never go back.
Why is that?
The only reason why is because I don't see myself there anymore. It served its purpose at a time, and you can get caught up. It is, some people might not like me for this, but it is a very selfish sport. All you're concerned about is how much protein or not enough protein, but there's somebody suffering here. There's somebody that is doing this competition for all the wrong reasons. That's what I got attracted to. Spray tanning the athletes and hearing their story. That's what I got attracted to. Working behind the stage. I did some judging and all of that stuff, but it was the people that kind of replaced, for myself to step on the stage. I am not validated by a number, Sandra. I am not validated by first, second, third, pro card. That doesn't validate who I am. It was a moment in time. I understand taking care of the body. I understand about being healthy, but it doesn't matter what I just said before. You could have all this exterior and look phenomenal, but you are literally dying on the inside. That's how each experience came to be into the next one. You
know what? The common thread that I'm seeing from your fitness and then now in the world that you're in is, you just said it, story. That everybody has a story, and that sometimes it is about finding that story and helping people see their own story in a way. What's your hope? What's your dream for yourself with the new business that you've created?
Oh, my businesses. Well,
the businesses, yeah. No, specifically, let's talk about the part of you which is doing inspirational and motivational, the speaking, the coaching. What's your vision for that? What do you want it to be?
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see people 100% happy. Highs and lows. It's going to be okay. This is just a moment. I'd love to speak a word into people where it sticks. and sticks hard enough that whenever they're having a dark moment, they can think of the one thing that I said. The trouble doesn't last always. The joy does come in the morning. I'd love to see more tears of joy instead of tears of sadness. And I would love to see people know that there's always help. Whether you want it or not, there's always help. That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to be speaking into people so profoundly that they always know that there's an option. You don't have to cry any more hot tears. You don't have to be in an empty house alone waiting for this voice to speak to you. You know? That's what I want to see.
Now, you're incredibly inspiring and just, you know what, you're such a light. Every time I see you, like literally, if someone had to ask me, describe Marie, it'd just be like, the first thing that would come to my mind is just you beaming, like just smile. You're always smiling, always laughing. Such an inspiration. Who are some people who inspire you?
Who are some people who inspire me? OMG. Okay, Julie Black. She does. I've watched her transform from the beginning to who she is right now. Cheryl Nimbard.
I don't know Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl Nimbard. She is an author, a film director. She is one of the hosts on See, Hear, Love. She's a great youth advocate. She's, I believe she's one of the organizers for Brave, that is for youth girls from ages 12 to 17, I believe. Amazing lady. She needs to be here. Cheryl Nimbard, yourself. Real deal. You say I'm a light, but the moment we met at Brunch and Beauties, you were so welcoming. Like, just how we kicked it off. Like, we came together. We didn't come together. So, yeah. Sarah Jake Roberts.
Oh, gosh.
Tiffany Malott. Oh, my gosh. Lisa Nichols. The list could go on.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. Come on. We could talk all day. Yeah.
And what is it about these women that inspires you?
Consistent. They're consistent. And they do not apologize. They are aware of who they are, and they're good with that. They have up days and they have down days, but they know that there is always choice in the matter. Clear, concise, consistent.
What's your greatest dream for Maria?
My greatest dream for me is honestly, to retire my husband from the things that he has to do so he can do the things that he loves to do. That's my greatest dream. My kids are healthy. They're being great ambassadors. They are great ambassadors. My husband is a hard worker. He puts himself last in everything he does. So I would like, that's what would, yeah.
That's an incredible, which you'll absolutely make happen. I have no doubt you're going to make that happen.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell me about your kids, what you most want them to learn from you, and what are the lessons you most want them to learn from you?
My three jewels, I call them, Rashawn, Soraya, and Cayman. So Rashawn, he is a great human. I remember him being in the 2nd grade, and it was the first time Barack Obama won. And he went to school the next day and said out loud to his school, his class, he said, "We won. The blue team won, and he looks just like me." So to be my children, great humans, give back to the community. Rashawn has an aspiration for theater and art and writing. He's an amazing writer. Soraya, to be the queen of her own domain, always, always, and to stand up for what is right, naturally. She does that. She's a fighter, a great champion cheerleader. And Cayman, our youngest, who wants to be a great YouTuber and play for the Toronto Raptors. All I ask of them is to love God first and give back to their community. That's it.
That's an incredible wish for your children. I mean, I wish the same for them too. That love God first and back, because that's what that's what it's about. Now we kind of touched on it. You have other businesses as well. Do you want to talk about some of the other things that you do?
Well, my other passion is I have a company called Brown Sugar Spray Tanz with a Z. And I just love sharing the sugar. So it's just natural spray tan products, and I spray tan anywhere from those who just want a little bit of a glow to elite athletes, dancers, models, the whole kit and caboodle. But
did this start from your fitness days?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That was
and was that because you used to have to do all this?
And I understood, right? And I understood. And
now, see, here's a question for you that I'm going to guess a lot. People of color would be like, what? A person of color needs a spray tan? Explain that to me.
Well, a person of color would need spray tan to even out the skin tone, right? On stage in the fitness world, yes, we look the best on stage because of our dark skin, and we can see the contouring lines a lot better, the striations and all of that a lot better. Yes, but some of us have yellow undertones, red undertones, and the hue under certain lights, it doesn't look right. But come on, girlie, when you're watching, all these award shows and stuff like that, they have bronzer on. They're looking like their melanin is tight. Yes, they get spray tans. But that's where the empowerment started. I'm sitting here holding a spray tan gun, and I'm sharing the sugar, and that's where the conversation starts. I also say I'm a spray tan therapist. I am not a spray tan tech. Just like when you go to the salon, and you sit in the salon and you tell your stylist everything, right? Just the only thing is, I just make my environment a non-gossip zone, right? Why aren't you embracing your body? You have a beautiful body. You've had a certain amount of children, the scars, the stretch marks, that's yours. You earn those. So that's where the empowerment came from.
What are the most common hang-ups or things that you hear people say about their bodies or why they're not comfortable in their bodies?
Too much loose skin. I have this scar. I'm overweight. I'm not the right tone. I wish I had your color all the time. Get that? I'm like, yeah, there was a time where I didn't like my color too, but now I'm embracing all of it, Yeah. I just don't like myself. I don't like the shape of my body.
So what do you say to someone where, like, especially in the case of people who are competitors, where their bodies are like almost works of art, and the person standing there telling you, I don't love my body. What do you say to someone like that?
There's been times where we've got really deep. By this time, they're coming to me often enough for us to talk this way. I'm like, there must have been somebody who told you that you're not enough. Because to flip your body the way you have, to work on it, and you all pretty much have to become obsessive about your body. And you're standing in this tent telling me you still are not satisfied. Is that a you thing or a somebody thing? And they would, obviously, whether they're, naked, and they're like, you got me, Maria. I'm like, why? Where is that coming from? Who told you? And then it's amazing how they'll say, I was in the 5th grade, or, my mom's boyfriend violated my body, things like that, the things that they hold on to.
Does that ever feel heavy for you to take on this energy of whatever it is the person is telling you?
Yeah. Speaking or spray tanning anywhere where I'm in a place where I have the opportunity to give the gift of empowerment or speak a word, I feel heavy for a while. But I just ask, God, shake it off of me, cover me, and let me keep on keeping on. Because somebody has to be told they're loved today. Yeah.
Do you feel like you found your purpose?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am in the best 2 worlds of my entire life. Absolutely. I do.
I love it. Like literally your face just lit up. Like lit up. Like they can see you from the space station. Like you literally lit up. That's such a beautiful thing because this is one of the things that I hear as well. So many people find it hard to find what is their purpose. Like, like that's the big struggle is finding their purpose and their passion. And so for you, like, was it ever something that you went looking for to say?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I've tried everything. I've tried my hand in real estate. I went through, oh my goodness, there was a time where I would just go after something so that it's explainable to society and the people around me. But I realized that is what was slowly killing me, what I was sharing with you at the top of our conversation today. People pleasing and trying to fit into what society thinks is right. But once I realized that that's not working for me anymore, and it was literally about to kill me, I'm like, I'm going to go with what I know. And what I know is what Steve Harvey said. Your gifts, right? In the Bible, it talks about your gifts shall make room for you. And Steve Harvey's talked one time about what are your gifts? Your gifts are the things that you can do in your sleep. I can talk. I can talk till thy kingdom come. And I can share a lot of happiness too. What else can you do in your sleep, Maria? I can spray tan. It might not be a big deal to other people. I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to spray tan, and I mastered it in a way, but I'm not perfectly mastered because I'm still taking courses and I'm still going out there. And even after I got certified and then I started teaching people, I'm still going back and learning. But the thing is, I picked up the gun and I started, and it brought me happiness. So I had to go through all of those things. I had to pick them up and put them down for a while. Sometimes I even hid them. Like I just announced to, my new tribe out in Ontario that I spray tan. But before I kept it quiet because I didn't know if it was going to be acceptable. But the minute I said, my gifts are making room for me. So step aside. So absolutely, I love what I do.
What are you most proud of that you've achieved?
Other than marrying my best friend and having my children, finally being authentically me. That is the best thing. Loving me, accepting me, all that I am, all that I have.
You've talked about, and I literally could feel the love. You've talked about your husband a few times. Tell me about him and what it was about him that attracted you to him.
Well, we were kids, and I was walking into youth group, and he was. It was just when Fresh Prince of Bel-Air launched, and Nike Airs, Jordans, the whole thing was about that. And he's so comical. He's. He has his stories too, but he was that kid that didn't know if he had a space or place in his own family life, but he kept on smiling anyway. He is my Urkel turned into my Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, turned into my, few great men, and he likes to say, yes, I was named Dwayne for a reason. My own Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's comical. He's funny. He's protects his family. He doesn't apologize for being who he is. And the one thing I said when we were dating is I'm like, you have to keep me laughing. If the minute you stop having me laugh, then that's when we're going to have a problem. And I'm still laughing. And we've been together total 27 years. We've been married for 23 years.
Wow. That's incredible. What a beautiful way to end this. Okay, so here's last question that I'll ask you in this portion of our interview is, this platform is called Ndini, and I named it that because it means I am in my mother tongue. And I want you to finish that sentence for me. I am.
I am beautiful. I am authentically me. I am unspeakable. There's no word for it. But I guess I'll just have to say happy. I am Maria Michelle Lee, and I'm happy.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And gosh, you'll have to, like, truly. Here's what I'd love to ask you as our community. So I want to know from you, who do you want me to have on the show? Who would you like me to interview? Who are some of the amazing women whose stories you would like for us to share on this platform? If you have any fantastic ideas, and even better, if you can connect me with them, please comment, leave your comment, or DM me and tell me who are some incredible stories I should be sharing on this platform. And the other ask that I have of you is for you to subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and share. Please share. If you find any of our interviews inspiring, please share them with your friends and family.